Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. It's been a little while since I've spoken about the Chris Watts case, and what I can tell you on my Patreon is I've conducted a poll, and most people don't want to hear about Chris Watts anymore. There are more people who want to hear about Laurie Vallow. There are actually even more people who want to hear about Scott Peterson than Chris Watts. More people who want to hear about Letitia Stork than Chris Watts. A lot more people who want to hear about the Everest disaster than Chris Watts. Also, a lot more want to hear about John Benet Ramsey than Chris Watts. There are even people, I think it's the same amount of people want to hear about Madeleine McCann and Amanda Knox than Chris Watts. More people want to hear about Oscar Pistorius than Chris Watts. More people want to, or about the same amount, want to hear about a South African axe murderer, triple axe murderer. He murdered his parents and his elder brother, as well as attempted to murder his younger sister, Henry van Breda. About as many want to hear about that as Chris Watts. And then there are more people who want to hear about the Ripper, the Yorkshire Ripper, than Chris Watts. So I think it might be time to give it a rest, certainly for a while, and until some proper news comes through, news of an appeal, news of the appeal being unsuccessful or whatever it is, news of Chris Watts' legal argument or attempted legal argument. In this episode, I want to talk to you a little bit about a new Chris Watts book that no one has spoken about thus far. But before we get to that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Like, share, leave a comment, and let's get started. So I guess there are a couple of channels who have been talking about the Watts case every day, sometimes twice a day, for the past couple of days. What is interesting is no one has actually mentioned this new book on the Chris Watts case. And I'm not referring to the book by Sherilyn Cadle. It's Silver Fox Post-Truth, which is listed as one of the major new releases in the hoaxes and deceptions category. And if we take a look at it, it is listed on the bestseller list below the first book in the series, Silver Fox, The Third Confession. It is listed below that, not that far below, but we're going to look at the reviews for this book in a moment. So if we go to the description, it just refers to, it's also available in paperback and as an audiobook on Patreon on the $10 tier. 2 years after the Watts family murders, how much of what we know to be the truth isn't the truth? What new information has come through the ether in recent months? What has the new Netflix documentary revealed that we didn't already know? In Post-Truth, the 100th True Crime Rocket Science title, the world's most prolific author demonstrates how much we still don't know in the Watts case. In the final chapter of the Silver Fox trilogy, the author provides a sly twist in a tale that has spanned 12 TCRS books to date. The result may shock or leave you with even more questions. So you can see that it is the final book in the Silver Fox trilogy. All three books have so far done pretty well in terms of reviews and ratings. There is also another series of books. Let's just see if I can find it here. And that is the Two-Face quadrilogy. I think that is 9 books. So you can find the Two-Face quadrilogy over here. And the most reviewed book is 112 reviews. But you can see basically all of them have done fairly well. 3.6 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 3.7 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4.2 out of 5. I must say, Two-Face Oblivion, I think, is one of the best books in this series. And then the final one, 4 out of 5. So if we just go back to the final book in the final book of the 12 books, we're just going to look at some of those reviews. So this is quite well reviewed thus far, 4.6 out of 5. compared to 4.2 out of 5 and 4.2 out of 5. So thus far, this is the best book in this trilogy. If we quickly go through the reviews, you can see it's the number 1 new release in this category. And one of the reviews I'm kind of the most happy about was actually the very first review. It was reviewed on December the 16th by Kathleen McKenna-Hewson, so the author of All My Broken Pieces. And I don't know if you guys know, she's busy working on her own book on the Chris Watts case. She's got her own theory. So that is going to be coming out later this year. So I'm just going to read a review. I was very proud and grateful that not only that Kathleen Hewson read my book, but also that she reviewed it in this way. So Kathleen Hewson writes, "I'm glad to be able to write the first review because I'm competitive and this must mean I finished it first. Beyond that, wow, this is a famous case and there are a great many books on it, a lot by this author. I've read every one of them and enjoyed each one. But with this one, the author somehow managed literary excellence along with facts. It's been done. Mailer did it with The Executioner's Song. It just hasn't been done often. If you are looking for flawless research and an almost painfully detailed telling of the Watts case, this is your series. But say you wanted something more, a compassionate book, a beautifully written tale of an ugly truth, then you would also want this one." I really appreciate this review from Kathleen because it's from a fellow author and she knows what it takes out of you to produce good writing and good research, and certainly putting writing and research together in a narrative that you care about isn't always very easy. So just going through some of the other reviews, this one left on December 23rd. Bear in mind it's a verified purchase. I've eagerly read every one of Nick's books on the Watts case and most of his others on other true crime cases. There is simply no one else like him that presents information and insight like he does. I totally agree with the first reviewer that the information is balanced with compassion. The hyperlinks are incredible. So obviously you get the hyperlinks with the Kindle version, and obviously you don't get them in the paperback. There are, I think, something like 150 footnotes, so there is a lot of sourcing and backing to certain points that are made in the narrative. Took a long, patient wait for this book to come out, but worth the wait. I try to read slowly and carefully because I don't want my reading experience to end. Now, I'm sure some of you are listening to this saying, wow, what a narcissist. He's reading his own reviews onto YouTube. Well, the reason I'm doing it is because no one else has done it. No one else on YouTube has actually mentioned this book. So, I've got to work very hard to market my work because nobody else does. Nobody else talks about it. So it's left to me to review my own work, but it's obviously done through you guys. So thank you very much for your reviews. So another one is from Connie Lukens. I think she's also on Patreon. Another outstanding gift from this great true crime author. So Connie reviews this. The review was left just before Christmas, December 22nd. In a word, outstanding. Post-truth was factual, insightful, and 100% entertaining. Anyone interested in true crime will find this to be a page-turner from the word go. Interspersed with his great knowledge of criminal psychology, I found this final book on the Watts case to be like a perfect gift wrapped with a big bow. Then another review, December 26th. Another excellent book. It's really incredible for any author to publish such a detailed, organized, thorough analysis of a complex case in a quick timeline. This is not a typical regurgitation of information from other sources. I feel like this book is the closest to the truth possible at this point. Great details coupled with analysis of all dynamics and facts. Excellent work. Then a review from Stephanie, which she's also a patron on Patreon. So Stephanie says it's his 100th book and the final book in the Chris Watts series. It did not disappoint. I had high expectations for Silver Fox Post-Truth after reading every other book he's written in the series, and this one has exceeded them, bringing together loose ends that didn't sit right with me and had me questioning why and how this family man could turn on his family and commit the ultimate betrayal. Looking at how the Chris Watts case narrative has shifted over the past 2 years, the reader is taken on a journey through post-truth in the context of the Watts case and within our own lives, post-truths. There is a shocking twist at the end that rocked my Chris Watts case post-truth. The unbelievable became not only a real possibility, but a reality that took no notice of how many times I tried to explain it or wish it away. Silver Fox Post-Truth was an incredible page-turning, reality-shifting, culminating narrative. Then a review, thanks a lot for that, Stephanie. Then a review from Debbie was reviewed on December 26th, gripping, brilliant. I've read many of Nick's books and his writing style is gripping. I get transported to the scene he's describing. If you're looking for an exceptional series, Nick's books on the Watts case is the one. Then a review from Mindy Bonholm from the 29th of December 2020. Quote, another brilliant book from our favorite author. Nick is factual, concise, and very articulate. As soon as I read page 1, I never put the book down. I hung on every word. His knowledge of this case is a true testament of his hard work and relentless research and fact-finding. True crime rocket science indeed. The most entertaining yet logical assessment of the Watts case. I've read it 3 times already. Wow. Okay. Then there's one from Christina. A well-written, well-researched book. Once I started reading, I could not put it down. The author's version of events make the most sense to me. I'm not going to take it further than that. I think that you kind of get the general gist out of it. But just for those who may be unaware that there is this book that is available for those looking for reading material on the Chris Watts case and perhaps a view or perspective that you may not have seen before. And so I personally think that this final book, the 12th book in the saga, is the best book of the 12. So if you haven't read any of the books, this might be a good place to start. You also might find, if you read this book and you find it worth reading, then you've got 11 other books to sort of go back through if you haven't had enough of the Watts case. So that is my spiel. Thank you for listening. I will put a link to the book in the description, also a link to the audiobook, and also a link to the paperback. So if you're interested, go and check it out. If you like it, leave a review. If you don't like it, leave a review. But I'm sure whatever you do, if you do read it, it's going to expand your mind, and it's going to be testing what you thought you knew about the Watts case, especially if you think you know it all. So that's my spiel. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.